I'm Sanjay Gambhir, lead wealth planner at TheWealthPoint, and I want to talk to you about the hardest financial transition you will ever have to make. It isn't making your first million, it isn't buying your first home. It is the transition from accumulation to decumulation. If you're watching this, you've likely spent the last 30 or 40 years in accumulation mode. You're a saver, you're a builder, you're a high achiever. You've likely spent your career in the busy trap. But there's a psychological trap that successful professionals fall into. You get so good at building wealth that you forget the purpose of it. You reach a point where the goalposts just keep moving. You think just one more year of working or just a little bit more of a cushion. This creates a state of permanent anxiety. You have the assets, but you don't have the permission to enjoy them. You spent a lifetime climbing the mountain, but nobody taught you how to get down safely. At TheWealthPoint, we don't just manage money. We help you solve the equation that traditional advisors ignore. How do we turn a lifetime of hard work into a lifetime of freedom? Our industry is obsessed with products. They want to sell you a pension, an ISA, or the latest fund. But products are just tools in a bag. They're boring, and frankly, they're secondary. Our philosophy is simple. Life first, money second. We don't start with the spreadsheet. We start with the question, what do you want the rest of your life to look like? To answer that, we have to move beyond looking at investment returns and start looking at your reality. We use a framework called the bucket. I want you to imagine your wealth as a bucket. Inside the bucket, you've got your liquid capital, which is your cash, your ISAs, money you can touch and spend today. Outside of your bucket, you have your fixed assets, your business, your pension, your property. Money that requires a sale or a process to access. Above your bucket, you've got your inflows, which is your income. And below, you've got your taps, the outflows, such as your spending. Our job isn't to guess, it's to mathematically model the seamless flow of this water for the rest of your life. When we do this, we find that every single person falls into one of three categories. First, you've got your not enoughs. Their bucket runs dry. They need immediate intervention to save their retirement. Second, you have got too much people. Their bucket overflows. This sounds like a good problem, but it's actually a failure of planning. It means you've worked years that you didn't have to, and you or your loved ones are going to pay inheritance tax that you could have avoided. Worst of all, it's the missed memories that you could have made because you were too busy earning money that you didn't need. And third is the just rights. These are people who have enough, but they don't realize it. They live in fear, they oversave, and they underlive. They keep working because they don't have the clarity to stop. We exist to tell the just rights that they have won the game and it's time to stop playing. But once we know your number, once we know you've got enough, we have to protect it. And this is where traditional advice that you may have received from banks or generic advisors becomes dangerous. Most retirement plans are built on a fatal flaw. They assume that markets go up in a straight line, say 5% every year. But you and I know the real world does not work like that. The real world has volatility. This introduces the single biggest threat to your retirement, a sequence of return risk. Here's how it works. When you're working and saving, a market decline is actually a good thing. It's a buying opportunity. You're buying cheap. But when you retire and you start withdrawing money regularly, a market crash is a disaster. If the market falls 30% in the first year of your retirement and you're withdrawing money to pay your bills and live the life of your dreams, you're digging yourself out of a hole you can never climb out of. To recover from a 30% decline, you would need a 43% gain just to recover or break even. But if you're withdrawing money as well during that decline, you might need a 55 or even 60% gain just to break even. The math turns against you. We saw this in the lost decade between 2000 and 2009. The S&P 500, which is the most important stock market in the world, averaged a return that was effectively negative. If you retired in 2000 with a standard average return plan, you faced a real risk of running out of money, or you would have had to dramatically cut or compromise on your lifestyle. This 10-year window before and after you retire is what we call the retirement risk zone. It's where DIY investors and generic bank advisors fail. They ignore the risks that can wipe you out. So how do we fix it? We plan for prudence, not performance. We don't try and beat the market. We try to manage the major risks. We use dynamic portfolio strategies designed specifically for income. We stress test your plan. We don't just hope for the best. We run your plan against the 2008 financial crisis, and we run it against the dot-com bubble as well. If your plan survives those, you can sleep at night. If our modelling shows that you only need a 3% return to live your dream life, why would we risk your security chasing 10%? We align risk with reality. We know that trusting someone with your life savings is a massive decision. We shouldn't have to do it based on a sales pitch or a brochure. That's why we've built a different client journey. We don't ask you to sign up on day one. It starts with a simple conversation. If we're a good fit, we move to a complimentary retirement builder session. That's where we build your retirement and we bring it to life. Then we offer a full retirement health check. Think of it as a diagnostic MOT for your wealth. We give you the red, amber and green lights on your current setup and plan. And I want to leave you with one thought. It is the core philosophy of everything we do at TheWealthPoint. Life is not a rehearsal. We challenge our clients. When they say one day we will take that trip or one day I will sell the business, I'll ask, what makes you think there will even be a one day? Your money is there to serve your life, not the other way around. Let's make sure you have enough. And then let's make sure you can go out and live it. I'm Sanjay, this is TheWealthPoint, and I invite you to click the link below and let's start the conversation.